What's up everyone, genralblak here with a new dungeon guide for Siege of Boralus. This week includes teaming, so I will show a normal route and return to add the additional mobs needed to complete teaming. Let's get to the map. We're going to start up on the upper section and we're not going to jump down to the water bridge area. I find this to be an easier route to avoid the shark and the many wipes that can happen. So we'll keep clearing and then we're going to go down the stairs and pop up over here. We'll take care of the trash around here, and we'll also take down this obelisk in this area. We're going to continue over here, get the patrol, and you want to be careful not to pull these mobs. We'll pick on these mobs, and then we'll engage the boss. After the boss, we'll continue on over here, clear all this trash, and after this mob, we're going to take the obelisk, kite through here, we're going to ignore the spotter, and we'll drop the obelisk more or less around here. We'll clear this group, these little non-elites, pick on all these guys, and then we'll take on this group. After this group, we'll take this obelisk, kite it right about here, drop it there, and clear the trash, all the trash, right before the boss. We'll engage the second boss, and after the second boss, we're going to move over here to this obelisk. At this obelisk, we're going to go ahead and use it to kite and skip all the trash that's right here and drop him over here on the other side of the barricade. Before the third boss, we're going to clear all the trash in the room. Then we'll engage the third boss and then the last boss. To include for teaming, we're going to return over here in the green zone. We're going to add the two commanders that are on their horses. They only are around during teaming. And then in the purple zone, we're going to clear these mobs right here, this group, and the two dogs. And that gives us 100%, 101% for completion. Let's get this show on the road. I find Siege of Boralus to be a very fun dungeon, but it's also not forgiving in case there's a mistake. So we're going to go ahead and pull all these trash mobs. And these small little guys here, the gutters, they put on a debuff, which is the hindering cut, which reduces haste. It's not a tremendously bad debuff, but it definitely does make a difference with the haste reduction when you're trying to get aggro. We'll go ahead and pull these bombers, and we just have to be careful when these guys are low on health. They start to erupt with all their bombs and spam on the floor, so if that happens, you just want to watch your feet and get out. We'll move into this group, and we're going to pull this caster. With the wave shapers, they cast watertight shell. It's important that you focus and interrupt it. If the shell cast goes off, it puts an absorb on one of the allies, and after a short period of time, if the shell was not dispelled, it will go off, do AoE damage, and also stun for about 4 seconds. So it's important to keep an eye on it and get an interrupt. We'll move on to this group, take care of this. Watch out for the quaking. There's another shell, get that interrupt. This guy, and then we're going to move up to the group up here. And I'm going to focus that caster. And another shell. There we go. And as the tank, I'll make sure that the wave shaper is my focus just to keep an eye on those shell casts. Now we just have these two big guys. They have a lot of health. And once they start going lower, I'm going to go ahead and kite them just a little back, make my way to the next mob. We'll go down the stairs. Pull this and pull this. Keep an eye on that shaper. Get that interrupt. And there is one bomber in this group, so just keep an eye for your feet. Whenever the bombs are thrown, just make sure you step out ahead of time. And that right there is an example of when the shell cast goes off and the explosion also triggers. So you saw that I was stunned for 4 seconds and it did some AoE damage to the group. we'll go ahead and clear that, and we're going to pick on this guy, and I'm going to LOS it. That way it comes here quickly, and I can pull them all around the corner to make AoE much easier. There is 2 bombers in this group, so do be careful. If you have stuns, it's best to use them here, and focus the bombers immediately so that they don't fill the area with fire. They're almost down. Pull this patrol right there. I'm gonna pull this group here. Maybe? Not yet, not yet. We're gonna wait. Make sure these guys go down. I want to be safe. Although it is a level 12 key, it's very easy to still cause some hiccups and potentially ruin the key. So we're gonna go ahead and do the obelisk. This is the fear one, so we're gonna take care of the little mini ads. Once the flesh fiends have gone down, I'm gonna move them to the next area. And we're just gonna drop them right here, because we're gonna continue to clear trash before we engage the next boss. Well, the first boss. Alright, we'll zone out and we're going to engage this group. And there is 1 bomber in this group, so we just got to keep an eye on that. And it looks like the patrol's coming. And we're going to pull it. Ooh, good thing the bombs are over there on the corner. It's always nice when the bombers decide to drop them far away and they don't cloud the floor that's around you. And I'm going to keep pulling here, and I'm going to get these 2 over here. And this is going to be the percent that we need for teaming. Normally, when it's not teaming, I wouldn't pull this group or the entire room here. I'd just pull the necessities. But since we have teaming, we're going to need these guys for percent. I choose to clear this area the most. That way I can skip a majority of the monkey trash at the end. Now we're going to move forward. And we're going to pull this group, and I'm going to do an LOS again here. This group is notorious for the small little ads running away when they get low on health. And the problem with that is if you were to have them over there by the boss and they don't fall quickly, they could potentially aggro the boss. So I prefer to just bring them back here, LOS, so that if they do run, there's enough space for them to run around and not engage the boss or be near the boss. And we're going to take care of our last bomber for trash. After this, we won't have to worry about them. And as you can see right there, as he was low on health, he was just running around throwing bombs everywhere. So when that happens, you just want to avoid them, move out of the way as best possible. It's kind of hard because it just happens instantly, but you get the point. And these guys as well, you could see right there that they started to run in the direction of the boss. So if you have any slow stuns to make sure that they don't get away and near the boss, that would be ideal. And one last mob, and we're gonna go ahead and pull the boss. Now on the first boss, as the tank, our main objective is going to be the trash mobs. The main mob to look out for is the Iron Tide Cleaver, and we want to tank this around the edge or border of the arena because the cleavers do a heavy slash. The heavy slash will fire through pretty much point A to point B across the map, as you can see right there where they're facing, and it will stun anyone and also damage them if they are in the way. So it's very important to make sure you keep the cleaver facing on the outside of the arena so that it doesn't hit anyone in the party accidentally. The only other thing to keep an eye out for is the meat hook that the boss does. Primarily, it's supposed to target the group and not you, but on the rare occasion, it is possible that you could be targeted. So just keep an eye on it, and if it does happen to face you, make sure that you move out the way from the meat hook. And we're going to go ahead and pull these guys. And as you can see, as the tank, add control is priority here. That way nothing is on the group, sorry. And also so that they're able to kite freely and safely without any interruptions. On this boss as well, we do pop time warp just to make this go by much quicker. And there we go. Amazing jobs with kiting and also bringing the boss to the bombs. Now we're going to move forward and take care of this trash over here. We have another wave shape caster here, so we got to keep an eye on that shell cast. And the patrol's coming, so we're going to pull them as well. Beware. Now the small little mobs, they will put on a debuff called Curse Slash. It definitely does hurt as the debuff is applied. And if you have a caster that can dispel curses, ideally it'd be nice if they can remove it. As a druid, I can dispel curses. If you're on a warrior, a spell reflect does work, or a death knight with anti-magic shield helps. So we'll take care of this right here. And there's still one more wave shaper up ahead that we'll take care of. After that, no more have to worry about the shell cast. Now from here, we're going to take this obelisk. And we're going to kite this through the area where the spotter would use their fiery range on us. So I'm going to get a little aggro on the scarabs. Interrupt that. Put a vortex and then use a roar just to get everyone across quickly. Now there is a snap point up here, and I'll show you right here. And there we go. Spider was casting, but now it's over here. So you could use that little area to bring it immediately, and then we're just going to interrupt. Keep the scarabs away as best possible. That way their explosions don't happen on the group. And I'm just waiting for the little scarabs to blow out. And I'm going to move the spider over here, because we're going to avoid the spotter completely. I don't want to pull that group. So we'll drop it right here, and then we're going to engage the group on the right side. And forgive me, there's actually 2 more wave shapers. This one plus 1 more crossing the water. So as you can see here, these guys are going to put the cursed flesh on me. Hopefully it doesn't stack too high. But the only problem with the cursed flesh is that it does do damage as it increases damage as the stack goes up. We'll move over here. Pull all these little ones. These guys also put the cursed flesh. And we're going to pull one more group. And right here, this is our last wave shaper. So no more shell cast after this. And as you can see, we're at 24 minutes and our percent is extremely good, 70%. There's only one more big group, one more obelisk, some trash before the third boss, and we'll be good to go. Alright, now let's get into this obelisk. And as always, I'm going to stick around the area just to help out with some interrupts. We'll get that one. And we'll just stick around, all while keeping a safe distance from the tentacles so that the purple circles don't cloud the area and make it hard for the DPS to take them down. And one more, and I'm going to slowly kite backwards to the next group. Now it doesn't really matter, you could take this obelisk down right here on the bridge or further up ahead. but it really doesn't make a difference. We're not going to skip any trash anymore. At least not for the moment. So there we go. We're going to pop out. And we're going to pull this. And I'm going to bring it over here. And that spotter's a little sketchy right there. The problem with that spotter is that it has a chance to jump backwards and engage the boss. So you want to be a little careful and try to pull him back if you can. So he doesn't have aggro on me, but I'm trying to get it to move over here. I'm going to go ahead and LOS. Hopefully that'll move him. And for the cannoneer, you just want to watch for the barrage that he did right there. And the spotter's still not moving. There we go. Slowly but surely. And as you saw right there, it disengaged. So if that had happened earlier, it could have gone to the boss and started that fight. So here we are at the second boss. This one's very easy. The only thing we're looking for is clear the deck. You just want to move away. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but there's no reason to take the hit. And then the phase 2 right here, when she disappears, we're going to focus the cannoneer. We're going to take him down first. And we're also going to watch out for the dread volley, which is the barrage of bombs that happen. Oh, here we are. Just look for a clear spot. Keep focus on the cannoneer, and when he drops the cannon, we're going to pull it and get the boss back over here. Since we're doing really good on time, there's still 3 minutes on the time warp debuff, but usually the time warp debuff should be gone by this point, and we would use time warp here on this boss. And she's falling down quick. We have about 10 seconds left before she withdraws. Hopefully we can get her down. If not, we'll just have to go through one more phase, dodge the barrage, and pull the cannon on her again. And yep, right at 1%. That sucks, but it's alright. We'll focus the cannoneer again. And there's quaking. Cannon drops, and she's doing her barrage, so we're just gonna move. Oh, lost someone to the barrage. And pull her back. There we go, easy peasy. Now we're gonna move over here. These two commanders up ahead are only present when it is teaming. Otherwise, they're not there. So I'm just gonna pull them. Make my way over here real quick so that these guys stop their little volley. And come back over here. After these two, we'll take the last obelisk to the third boss. Beware. The trample's the only spell you have to watch out for. A few people got hit there. So in case the horse happens to pick on you, normally it doesn't, just move out the way. There's no reason to get hit by it. Alright, now we're engaging this guy. This is the big tank smacker. So I'm gonna go ahead, get some aggro. And we're just gonna... Ooh, that's slow. That slow from the growths is so mean. And we're just gonna skip all this trash and kite him to the next boss room. Now while we're doing this, if you guys are enjoying the video, please go ahead and leave a like, give it a thumbs up, put a comment, smiley face, anything, and subscribe to the channel. I have a few more dungeons to complete, and we'll get those out as soon as possible. We'll make it over here. We're going to skip that spotter that's right there as well. We're not going to pull that. And we'll drop it right here. Now there are two ways about pulling this trash here. We're going to go the safe route and pull these in smaller numbers. So we'll go ahead and get aggro. Now all this trash, I believe it is the destroyer who will put, sorry, not the destroyer, but the invaders. You could see that they put the debuff stinging venom coating. Now it does stack up to 5 stacks and it does do a lot of damage. So if you have someone that can dispel it, it does help a lot. Otherwise, just be careful. The other way about pulling this trash, as you'll see right here, is if you pull the boss, bring him back a little, he'll disappear, and then he will trigger all the trash to come to you. So if we had done that earlier, we will have 3 groups on us, but to be safe, I decided to pull 1 alone. That way that leaves only 2 on us. And I'd rather be safe just because we have more than enough time, but there's also no reason to be risky. And as you can see, they chunk my health a bit. It's pretty much because of the venom debuff. And hopefully that sniper doesn't go over there. We don't want him to pull the spotter. Alright, just the commander. And now the boss. Alright. Now the 2 things we need to look out for is going to be for the crashing tide. There we go. Just make sure that you move out the way and make sure you face the boss to the outside of the arena also. That way the crashing tide doesn't project towards the group or make it hard to move around. And then title search. A big wave spawns on one of the 4 sides of the map, so you're just going to want to LOS it using the middle statue so that you don't get hit. Beware. And we're just going to keep moving around, making sure that we have enough space so that everyone, whether melee or range, can move around freely and also prepare themselves for the next title search. And we'll probably get 1 more surge. There's a crashing tide. Dodge that. Beware. And there we go. No more titles. Alright. On our way to the last boss. 15 minutes. We're doing perfectly well. Trash has been taken care of. So all we have to focus is on this last boss. Always make sure that you have plenty of time because the roleplay right there definitely eats up those seconds. And we just gotta watch these little blue swirls. Hopefully no one goes down. Alright. Now there's 3 platforms here. Each platform has demolishers and grips. Well, gripping terrors. The demolishers always priority, so always make sure that you get aggro on them and that DPS focus them down quickly. Afterwards, when there is no demo, you want to take care of the gripping tremor. So I'm just keeping an eye. Here's the demo. I'm just moving the camera around just to see where the demo spawns, because they can spawn over here or far away. So I just want to be ready. There we go. Just watch out for the big AoE right there. That big AoE that you saw is eradication, so you just want to make sure you're not in range of that, or at least just not in the blue swirls. As for the terrors, they're going down pretty quick, but they do a slam cast, and you just want to step outside of that. No reason to get hit. I'm going to go ahead and throw some heals, and they're going to cannon, and here's the next demo. And demos always take priority over the gripping. If you don't take down the demos quick enough, you could find yourself in a sticky situation where you'll have multiple demos spawned at once, which can make it a bit challenging to clear the platform. And this one's about to go down. 1 more demo. They'll probably take down the gripping first, which is perfectly fine. That way no more demos will spawn. And then we're gonna get this guy. And to the last platform. Now when we're on the ship, it's a little crunched, so we just have to be careful. Oop, hopefully the shark doesn't bite me. Oh man, that's not good, but that's a little silly on me. Another thing to know about the demos, you can use stuns on them, and that'll help out. Should have made a note of this earlier, but just an FYI, stuns do work on them. Alright, and now the script. If we're lucky, the next demo will spawn to the left or right of this one, if we get another one. But I'm just keeping an eye. And it's almost down, so probably we won't get another demo. Nope. There we go. Now we just have to fire the cannon, and that will give us a completed siege. Oh, and don't fall. Don't die here, because it's still possible. And there you guys go. Siege of Boralus.